Okay. Whew. I'm going to try to do this in one take. There we go. Now I'm centered. This is all part of my word of the year, change, which is a very difficult word if you're on the spectrum and if you have ADHD. And I've been trying to do different things on my channel. I know I'm late to the game. I know a lot of people that I follow hooked their train to the stars during COVID and they were successful. Others, I never knew they had a channel until they told me years later and they're successful. Do I want to be successful? Of course, everyone wants to be successful, yet I just want to have my story shared out there because it might be just that one story that someone at a certain time of the day or night needs to hear and know. And it's so cliche, you're not alone, you're not the only one. Others feel that way, yet it works. And this is me in the raw. This is me. Hi, my name is Kat of Paper, Pens, and Coffee, and welcome back to my channel. Or if this is your first time, welcome to my channel. This is a raw vlog. I am just going to vomit words for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to shut off the camera and then debate if I'm going to air this or not. I'm not trying to go viral. I just want to know that I'm here for others that might not be sure of their journey through late diagnostic autism and ADHD. I always know as ADHD, I never got the stamp of approval. I knew how to maneuver the waters, as they say. I learned how to fit in. I learned how to mask. I learned just to be off enough, but then behave enough when time came, especially in school. I listened to the teachers. Rules were rules were rules. And like in second grade, back in the 80s, I'm a Generation X, born in 70, so 70s and 80s baby. The scariest thing, and this is how my brain works, and this is why I'm videotaping this so rawly, is that all of our first names were on one chalkboard. For you guys that don't know what chalkboards are, there were these big green things that they put on the wall that they would write in pieces of chalk, and you got a privilege of cleaning the board or stomping the chalk erasers outside. That was a privilege back then. Who knows how much we ingested chalk back then. Maybe that's why I have asthma. Anyways, the fear of school was put in me when all of our names were put on the board, and to get her attention, because she really didn't want to yell at kids, she'd underline your name. You're like, all right, whatever. Then she'd box your name. You're like, oh, Mrs. So-and-so is really serious now. And then the most scariest stomach flip-flopping moment for me, I don't know about the other kids, is when she would erase your name. And to me, that was like, I don't exist anymore. I am in so much trouble. What is going to happen to me? Will I ever get my name back on the board? What exactly did I do to deserve to get my name erased? Is she going to call my mother? Am I going to have to send home one of those? Our school had pink notes. And you knew the bad kids when they got pink notes handed to them to send home. Luckily, I never got a pink note. Later on in the school year, this particular teacher, who happened to be my favorite teacher in the whole world, I'm trying to adjust my hat. There we go. Now it looks more even. And I was in contact with her. I didn't get a card from her this year, so I hope she's still alive. Anyway, she realized that my processing was a little different, even though there wasn't a name for it yet. They had me tested, and I, of course, flying colors, I passed everything because I knew how to mask. But then she she understood me, and so she gave me a little more time on time testing. She would let me sit down somewhere elsewhere with the thing, and instead of me saying ready, set, go or whatever, she would have an egg timer. And so the rhythmic of the egg timer knew that I still had time to finish that test. She was ahead of her time back in the 70s, and I hope today there's teachers like that. So the reason I'm telling you that is that I don't want anyone's name to be erased off that board. And I want you to know that you are being seen. Even if you're not in social media, even though you might not be on YouTube, even though you might not be in the newspapers, you might not be famous, but you are seen. And your story matters. I didn't understand what your story matters a long time ago. And then some people explained to me it was what happened in your life. That is your story. And everyone has their own stories, but I'm very empathetic and I'm very emotional when something means something a lot to me. And this means a lot to me. That's the reason vlogging in the raw. I was officially diagnosed 3 years ago at age 50. After years and years and years and years of what the hell is wrong with my brain. I've been married twice. My first husband unfortunately died of complications of his cancer. We had 3 kids, and one of them is on the spectrum, and he's doing fabulous. And the other 2 are not on the spectrum. But we all learned to live together, and we learned how to try to navigate the waters, and that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to get into my personal life back then. But it just kind of pisses me off that especially females, and now I know of the 21st century, 2024, and I read it somewhere, so I'm going to quote the thing I read. People who are assigned female at birth, because I want to be somewhat politically correct, we were brushed to the side. We were known as the weirdos, the nerds, the outcasts. We had friends that were like us, or we were friends to everyone. That was me. It didn't matter if you were a goth, a jock, a stoner. What else did we call ourselves? Cheerleaders I had a little hard time with, because to me they seemed so fake. And then when I saw Mean Girls, I'm like, yep, that was them. Anyways, oh shoot, train of thought lost. That's the ADHD part. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that we were misunderdiagnosed. That's it. Back on track. And they told me, well, you're starting university. This is why you are. You're stressed out. Here's some pills for that. I became married at the tender age of 24. Well, you're newly married. Here's some pills for that. I became a mom for the first time at 25. Here's some pills for that. You'll be fine. I knew about baby blues and I had them horribly. My logical thing is like, well, if I have another baby, it'll reverse itself. You know, one gave it, one can take it away. That didn't happen. So moving on through life, at age 40, I went back to school. I graduated university, actually, with honors. And then at age 40, I went to massage school because I knew I needed a skill set, because I knew my husband was going to pass. It was inevitable. And so I knew I needed something, because I tried to have jobs in the past and I couldn't hold down the regular jobs. I tried so hard. I tried to work at Body Bath Works. I tried to work at another store just doesn't work for me. I even worked in, my degree's actually in rehabilitation, deaf studies, not death studies. And I didn't last very long there either. Even though I did the work, I loved working with my clients. I loved doing everything for them. Yet it didn't work out. The only job that I was never fired from or quit was being a mom. It was hard at times, but I loved it. So moving forward more, trying to hold down jobs, trying to figure out what's going on. The massage job has worked out. I did take some time off, and now I'm working as a massage therapist again. But unfortunately, because I have hypermobility syndrome, my joints are starting to go. So once again, I'm trying to pivot with change and find something that will help me keep a job. So being diagnosed, because I've looked through a lot of Instagram feeds lately. I do not do TikTok because I think TikTok is dumb. That's my personal opinion. And a lot of people are like, oh, people are now just becoming autistic. Well, I'm here to, I'm not going to quote any studies or anything, but it's not all of a sudden that we're becoming autistic. It's that we're feeling more comfortable in our skin. We are getting the diagnostic approval, knowing that our brain is okay and we are okay, and that we're showing up just like other groups show up because they feel comfortable in their skin and they want to share their story. So with my diagnostic, I have a couple other things. I can't think of the word right now, but when I was diagnosed, it was kind of a very strange and stressful thing, like a lot of people go through. If you want me to talk about that more, maybe in a podcast form and not face-to-face, because I don't know if I'm going to do this again, I will be more than happy to give you the 411 on that. Yet, ironically, if I'm using that word right, the person who diagnosed me was an ADHD coach. And for those that don't know what that is, it's people that are trained to help other people with ADHD. They may or may not have ADHD themselves, but they're there to help you. I was sitting in her small room. And yes, I know I have a lot of stuff right here. Yet, it was like a hoarder. Everything, everywhere. And then she goes, I'm a certified ADHD coach. If you don't want to work with me, I'll give you someone else's number. And I'm like, you need to take care of yourself first. I'll figure this out. So I have, I'm here to say whatever works for me won't work for you. And whatever works for you might not work for me. And that's what makes us unique. And that's what makes everyone with ADHD and autism unique. So I just wanted to say all of that. I don't know what else to say right now. This is my word of the year. See if it'll get into focus again. I don't know if it will. No, almost. There we go. Change. I've done the word of the year for a couple of years now. Never really understood why you needed a word, but then I picked words that were out of the ordinary and it did work for me. And the reason I picked change is that due to needing to find a new job that is not so physical, but I really, really enjoy working with my female clients and helping them in their time of need, of pain, even though I'm in constant pain myself because of my hypermobility syndrome. That, to change, yeah. So I'm trying to get into a master's program because I want to work with other females that have been diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and I want to try to bring art into that. There's some people say you need to be certified art therapist. Others say if you're an artist and you want to bring in something that might help someone, then go for it. So if I get into this program, I know my life will change, and it'll change for the better, and it'll change the better for my family. Yet, I don't know if this happens to you, but ADHD / autistic people, or just ADHD people, waiting when you don't have control, waiting when someone else is saying yes or no. That is very difficult. You have to wait. And then you can play the what if game, or as my mom always say, you're just waiting for that axe to drop out of the ceiling, move on. And at times I've learned to do that, and other times it's like, just tell me now so I can move on. So that is part of me trying to have better waiting time for change. Okay, we're at 16 minutes. So I don't know if this is going to help anyone. I know I'm rambling and I'm boom, 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 like a ping pong, or not a ping pong game, but a pinball machine. But I'm not going to edit this. I am not going to put background music or anything. I'm just going to put this as is. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing, if you so do. Please remember to click and subscribe and all that other jazz, because the stupid algorithm is what keeps some of us away from others and keeps us, or gives us, to other people so they know what's going on. So if Claire of Woodshop Theory can do this once a week on her porch for her coffee talk, I know I could at least do one video here on my channel. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.